Hello everyone and welcome back to Unbiased Magic Reviews. I hope that you're staying safe wherever you are. Today I have an exclusive requested top 5 magic review for you. I've been asked by many people through emails and such to do a top 5 review of my top 5 picks for video chat effects. Many of us have been reduced to having to perform over Skype, Facetime, and Zoom because of social distancing. So this is a requested top 5 review. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you find something here that you find useful. I hope I can save you some money. These are the type of reviews that I do. Unlike other YouTube channels, you're gonna find that I'm gonna tell you the brutal, honest truth about magic effects. I'm not here to just do reviews on whatever is out there. I try to pick and choose the things that I review that I think you would be interested in, or review stuff that people request for me to review. Just like you, I'm buying the magic that I'm reviewing. And so of course, the information I'm giving you is coming from me. I do not have any big magic companies behind me pushing me to promote anything to you guys. That being said, of course, these effects that I'm reviewing today for you are all effects that I would recommend to you, which is why I have compiled this. I have done a deep dive of my own material over years, stuff that I use over Skype and FaceTime, material that I use over the phone and such, and that's how I've come up with this list of top 5 for you today. This is what separates my review channel from others out there. As always, these are of my own choices, so you may not agree with them. If you have other effects that you think should be included in this list, please leave me a comment below, because that will help all of us, including me. If you watch this review all the way to the end, then you will learn my favorite effect to perform over any type of video chat medium. All right, before we get into the list of top 5 effects, I just wanted to give you guys a couple of notable mentions. I always like to throw that into my top 5 reviews, and for whatever reason, these effects did not make it to the list of top 5. But I still would recommend them to you, and I give them to you here just because you may be interested in them. So the first of which is called The White Room by Ran Pink. This is a piece of propless mentalism that you can pick up from Penguin Magic for $20. I've been performing this for almost 10 years now, and it almost made my review of top 5 propless mentalism effects. For whatever reason, it just didn't make it. It wasn't as strong as some of the other effects that I reviewed there. That being said, it's an excellent piece of propless mentalism that you can perform over Skype, FaceTime, or even just the phone. Imagine this. You're going to have your spectator go through a visualization process where they seemingly have some free choices and they come up with a playing card in their mind. You then read their mind. That's what the effect is. I really like the version where they come up with a playing card and then they name that card among a couple other random cards they just think of, like 5 or 6 other random cards. You tell them, I want you to just name out 6 or 7 random cards, and among them you're going to name also the one you're concentrating on. And then you're able to tell them the one that they're thinking of. And the presentation could be anything you want. This is an excellent effect. It's very easy to perform. Really virtually almost has no negative aspects to it. And not only is it a good effect to perform over Skype, but it's also a good effect that you could perform even for a large group of people if you wanted to, like as an opener. So definitely one that I would recommend to you guys. The second notable mention goes to Ben Cardall and his effect, Eyespy. Now this was a limited release, and that is the reason why it is a notable mention here, because I don't know if you could still pick this up. I've been performing this propless mentalism effect for almost 4 years now, and I think you're gonna have to email Ben Cardall if you're interested in it. So what is it? It is basically a solution to the thought of object. That's what it is. You have your spectator think of a room in their house, they think of an object in that room, and then using the traditional Eyespy game as a presentation, you're able to immediately tell them the object that they're thinking of. It's very easy to perform. There is no memory work involved. it's something that you're gonna learn and immediately use. I would recommend it to you guys. If you're into propless mentalism, then you will really like this a lot. The only reason I'm just giving it to you as a notable mention is because I don't know if you could even pick it up anymore, because like I said, it was a limited release. Finally, the last notable mention that I'm going to mention to you guys is an effect that someone recently even asked me about, and that is Mental Die-Mensional by Sudo. This is a little bit more pricey. It's $45 and you can pick it up from Penguin Magic. And this is a piece of mentalism where you're going to need a pair of dice. The reason it's a notable mention is because your spectator is going to have a pair of dice. This is actually designed to be performed close up, but it is an effect I like to perform over video chat, Skype, FaceTime. The only caveat is that your spectator needs to have a pair of dice. This is a two-phase mentalism effect where you explain to your spectator that you're going to demonstrate to them the difference between intuition and thought reading. The first phase of the effect, you make a prediction on your business card. You have the spectator roll the dice a couple of times. They add up the values of their rolls, and your prediction matches the total they came up with. The second phase of the effect is that they cover the dice with their hands, and you're able to tell them the value on the top of each die. Now, when I perform this over Skype, I have them roll the die outside of the field of view, so I can't see what the dies are showing. And that's the real strength of that. What I really like about performing it over Skype is that the first phase of the routine, you can have a 100% hit. The way that this was actually designed was that if you do it the exact way that Sudo describes in his manuscript, then you're only going to have a direct hit about 45% of the time. But if you use a tool that you can learn about in the first step of Corinda's 13 steps, then you'll have a hit 100% of the time, which is why I like to do it over Skype, because it's very easy to use that tool over Skype or FaceTime, which is why I mention it to you guys. That being said, I think that the second phase of the effect cancels out any methodology of the first phase, because you're going to seemingly be able to immediately tell them what the values of the dice are that are in front of them, that there's no way you'd know what that is. So this is based on age-old principles. It's very easy to perform. There's a very small amount of memory work involved to be able to perform it. And if you perform it every once in a while, you will never forget what that is. It's very logical and it makes sense. And just like Sudo says in his manuscript, after you learn this, you're probably going to be carrying a pair of dice with you everywhere you go. And I would agree, because it's an excellent effect. So those are some notable mentions for you guys. Let's get into my list of top 5 video chat effects. As always, I've organized this in order of least to most favorite, although as always, I recommend all of these to you guys. Number 5 on my list goes to Phill Smith and Interlaced. This is a 38-page ebook that you can pick up for $19 from Penguin Magic. You're going to learn the semi-self-working interlaced principle and 10 routines you can use it with. Just the principle itself is enough that you'll be able to immediately perform this. This is an excellent effect to perform over Skype, and what it looks like is you take 8 playing cards or 8 tarot cards or 8 business cards or even 8 colored pencils. You have the spectator concentrate on one. You can even shuffle them up afterwards. You go through a very simple procedure at the end of which you know with 100% certainty which card they are merely thinking of. I really like the effect a lot, especially because it's so easy to perform and that the procedure only takes a couple of seconds. I think you're going to like it a lot. There's a lot of really nice routines that come in the ebook. So you may like one over the other, but just the principle alone is really nice to perform for people over Skype or FaceTime. This is number 5 on my list of top 5 video chat effects. Moving along to number 4 on my list of top 5 video chat effects, we have a new effect which is put out by Haim Goldenberg called Camfabulation. For $32, you can pick up this 10-minute video instructional where you're going to learn a video chat version of confabulation. The effect looks like this. You have a coin envelope on a bulldog clip standing up on your video chat. You tell the spectator you've made a prediction in the envelope, and you ask them to think of either a word or a 3-digit number, whatever you want. You immediately open it up, take out your business card, and show them that what they merely thought of is what has been written and put in the envelope ahead of time. It is an excellent version of confabulation. It can only be performed over video chat. I think it's very clever. There really is no sleight of hand involved, and what I really liked is that your hands seemingly only come up to the envelope to take out the card that's inside. It really seems impossible. It seems like there's no way that you could do it. I think it definitely is worth the price that's being asked, and I think it's something you should take a look at if you're into this type of routine. Let's take a look at the demo.
Number in your mind, and the number is
256.
256.
Yeah.
In this envelope, I will put it very close to you, and you see it's sealed. It's sealed. There is a note that I put before.
Okay.
Let's see. It will be amazing if it's the same number.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Moving along to number 3 on my list of top 5 video chat effects, we have the Mind Power Deck by John Kennedy. Now this is an old effect, but old is gold, and you can pick this up for $40 from your favorite magic dealer. It's a great effect for performing for one-on-one or for many people at the same time, and it is an effect that you can repeat as well and get really great reactions. If you're not familiar with it, you demonstrate to your spectators that you have a full deck of cards here. They can look at that as much as they want. You tell them that you're gonna have them just concentrate on whatever card they see. You pass the cards in front of them, they think of a card that they looked at, and then you proceed to read their mind. And like I said, you can perform this simultaneously for multiple people that are watching or just one-on-one. I've performed it for people over Skype, and I've repeated it for the same person and gotten the same strong reaction. There's a very small amount of memory necessary to perform the effect, but if you perform it over video chat, you could just have a cue card in front of you, so you don't even have to have any memory whatsoever to perform it. It's an excellent effect for performing live or over video chat, and I would definitely recommend it to you guys because it's so easy to perform and it gets really strong reactions, and it's excellent for video chat. This is number 3 on my list of top 5 video chat effects. Number 2 on my list of top 5 video chat effects is Virtual Triumph by Adrian Lacroix. This is a new download that was recently put out on Penguin Magic, and for $20 you can get this 30-minute video instructional where you're gonna learn a two-way triumph. Right now, this is my favorite virtual card effect to do over video chat. And the reason why this is a two-way triumph is because you and your spectator both at the same time are going to shuffle cards face up and to face down. At the end of the effect, you show your spectator that there's a complete mess, mixed up condition. You snap your fingers. All the cards have righted themselves except for a 4 of a kind. It could be 4 aces or whatever 4 of a kind the spectator wants to use. They do the same thing on their side, and all their cards have righted themselves except for the same 4 of a kind. It's an excellent effect for performing over Skype. It's a lot of fun. It is slightly procedure heavy. Some people may not like the procedure that's involved, but that being said, it's very easy to understand, and because you're doing it with the spectator over the video chat, there's no way that they really can mess it up. You're gonna learn 2 different versions on this video instructional, and Adrian Lacroix is gonna give you a bunch of tips. This is right now my go-to video chat effect with playing cards. I would highly recommend that you guys check it out. Definitely worth the 20 bucks. Before we get into my top pick for the top 5 video chat effects, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as that stimulates me to do more magic reviews for you guys. So my number 1 pick is an excellent effect for doing over video chat, and this is a deep dive into the magic literature. This is an old effect that I still use to this day all the time. It is excellent for performing live, but probably even better over video chat. It is called No No by T.A. Waters. You can learn this in his classic tome, Mind, Myth, and Magic, or if you have access to Magic Magazine by Boscow Jones, you can check out issue number 442, which was July 1990, and you will learn the effect there. Essentially, this is what it looks like. You take out a small coin envelope, which is sealed. You tell the spectator that inside of it, there is a 2-digit number. You can show both sides of it. You ask them what they think the 2-digit number is. They tell you, and you tell them that's exactly what it is. You tell them, let's take this a step further. You write a word on the back of the envelope. You ask them what they think that word is. You show them that they're exactly right. Then you open the envelope and you take out the business card to show them that the 2-digit number matches. What I really like about this is that your hands never leave the frame, so your hand doesn't like go out of view to do something weird, and everything looks copacetic and fair. This almost feels like a version of Koran's medallion, because it's similar in that way, although the method is totally different. And if this effect seems appealing to you, then you may also want to check out an effect called Roasted by Ian Bailey, which is an effect that's very similar, although it's done with a coffee cup, and it's done in a close-up situation like in a coffee shop. But it uses a totally different method, but it feels very similar to this effect. I only mention it because I like to give you guys other things to track down if you're interested in. This effect is my #1 pick for top 5 video chat effects. It is one of those effects that the method is so simple yet so solid that you'll be smiling when you learn it. I can't recommend it enough to you guys. And this is why you should always search the old magic literature. You should pick up old magic magazines and read them in your spare time when you can, because you're going to learn some excellent gems out there that just are irreplaceable overall. So that's my list of top 5 video chat effects. I hope that you found something here that has piqued your interest. If you have any questions about any of these effects or anything I review, or there's some effect that you want me to review, please just leave me a comment below. Thanks guys for tuning into my magic reviews, and I'll see you on the next review. Hey, what are you still doing here? It looks like you stumbled upon an Easter egg. In fact, this is the first Easter egg I have ever included in one of my magic reviews. This is intended for the die-hard, the hardcore viewer who will watch my magic review all the way to the end. As I mentioned in the beginning of this review, if you watched all the way to the end, you would learn my favorite video chat effect. The reason I did not include this in the top 5 was because I don't want a lot of people to know about it. That's the truth. In fact, I would probably just keep this to myself, but I wanted to add this as a bonus for you guys. This comes out of the magic literature, and the effect is called Reversal of Fortune by Richard Busch. I originally learned it from his manuscript called Number Please. I think you could pick it up for $25 if you send him an email. I know this effect was also published in a couple of other places by Richard Busch as well, so I leave it to you to track that down. The effect is good for performing close up for people over the telephone, but it is especially good for performing over a video chat like Skype or FaceTime. Now, the effect is this in a nutshell. You have the spectator think of a random 3-digit number. You have them reverse the digits and subtract one from the other. They come up with a new 3-digit number that there's no way you could know what it is. You ask them to mentally send it to you. You take out your business card and you write down your 3-digit number. You then proceed to tell them the 3-digit number they're mentally just thinking of, and as a kicker, you can show them that the number that you wrote matches perfectly. Now, there is an element of assumption involved here, and the routine is so clever. You do have to get a small amount of information out of your spectator, But because you immediately name the full number to them and then you show them the number on the card, it seems like you always knew the number. So it really looks impossible to the spectator. Now, the reason I like to do it over Skype or FaceTime is because I'm adding that element of making sure that the number I write matches perfectly, because I'm using the first step in Corinda's 13 steps to ensure that my number is going to match perfectly. And because the methods are slightly different, when you name the 3-digit number, it's a direct hit. And then when you show them that the number you wrote matches perfectly, it's like another nail in the coffin. That person will never be able to backtrack to have any clue how you knew that 3-digit number. It looks like real mind reading. It totally melts minds. And in my own experiences, I've gotten the strongest reactions from this routine. It literally takes a couple seconds to perform, highly impressive, and it's that kind of effect that I keep going back to again and again, which is why I recommend it to you guys. I would highly recommend you track this down and take a look at it if this sounds like the type of mentalism you want to perform. As always, guys, thanks for tuning into my reviews. I really do appreciate your support, and I will see you guys on the next review.